I'm Jaleh Fatemi, coming to you from College Station, Texas, home of Texas A&M University. I am an educational psychologist specializing in human development and human potential. And recently I have released a book entitled The Myth of Brain Disorder. And I'm here to tell you about the book. Basically, the book has two distinct sections. One, it states the problem of labeling and drugging children in educational system, and second, it offers an alternative view or paradigm shift in contrast to what right now presently is being practiced. I call the book, the second title of the book is The New Face of Slavery, because I am very interested to study the concept of prejudice of any kind. And I feel there is a similarity between what's going on within the educational system under the disguise of education, labeling and drugging children, and the issue of racism. The parallel is while racism was going on in its peak, it was a totally acceptable phenomenon. Most people didn't question it. Obviously, we did question it at some time, and we challenged it, and we started the process of looking at it in a different way. And I think labeling and drugging children kind of fills the same category. The issue of labeling and drugging children is a part of a deeper issue, which I would, for the lack of better word, will call prejudice. Prejudice is basically the root cause of every problem you can imagine on our planet. And it really is initiated when you're ignorant. So even going beyond prejudice, you're not prejudiced unless you're ignorant. And the only solution, only medication for prejudice is not more prejudice, is education. And by education, I don't just mean academic education, learning how to read and write. I'm talking about spiritual education, going back to the fundamental teachings of all the major religions in the world, that is all about love, unity, oneness of mankind, and values that we call civilized values, and or civilized ideals, because we don't practice it most of the time, but at least we all agree, no matter where we're coming from, that it's better to love than hate, it's better to forgive than take revenge. And so if we are lacking in spiritual education, if humans lack spiritual education, if our conscience goes to sleep, if the only thing that is in our brain are belief systems that make us hate another human being or interpret any differences that doesn't suit us or we don't understand or scares us as bad and scary, then you have what we have, a mess on our hand on a worldwide global level. And despite all the opportunity that exists for this planet to become one, despite all the resources that exist for this planet to solve every possible problem that is haunting humanity, from lack of pure water to lack of basic education to lack of safety to lack of human rights to 10,000 issues that we are kind of lost in it. We don't know where to begin to clean up this mess. Ultimately, at the bottom root is waking up our conscience. At the root of it is lack of spiritual understanding, that we are one, that we are spiritual beings, that we are created by one true God, that all these prejudices that we have allowed to separate us and interfere with our main task, and that is get our needs satisfied, address basic human needs of safety, food, shelter, education. We haven't got to the real issue because prejudices are just tearing us apart. So instead of talking about building walls and stigmatizing masses of groups of human beings on the action of one bad apple, we need to pause, push the pause button and take a time out and think. Get out of singular problems and go to the root cause of the problems. And in the book, although it's addressed and is addressing an educational crisis where we have to compromise our children's dignity and stigmatize them at age 5 and 6 in order to have access to educational opportunities, which is actually ridiculous, because our humanity and our dignity should never be compromised under no excuse or circumstances. But not only that, this is a symptom of a much deeper problem, which is prejudice. So as you read the book, although it's kind of written towards parents and educators and is about what's going on in the educational system, I have kind of sprinkled these concepts that are of great social importance at the present time, and it will make you think, make you question things. And I believe if we want to solve our problems and get out of this very scary place that we all are overwhelmed with, this major transition from adolescence to maturity that is happening to all humanity, we need to pause and start by asking some more intelligent questions. Attacking each other, blaming each other, reacting out of fear is not going to get us anywhere. It's just going to make the thing worse, make this situation worse. All of us know that, right? So the ones who are ready to hear this concept, you will find the book nourishing, inspiring, and thought-provoking. Please drop me a note once you purchase the book online. I think the most expensive one is $8 or something. It's not an expensive book, and it's only 39 pages. I will email me because the email is in the book. Email me and I will email you back a course that goes with the book for free as a gift. And it's really basically is made up of questions about exploring what would it be if you looked at differences, not from a negative sickness psychological point of view, but from a positive, oh, you are different, what a beautiful gift. And it kind of helps you to go through these like self-awareness exercises to examine yourself. Because if you want to reverse the tide of prejudice in the world, where do you start? By changing other people? Has that ever worked? We start by changing ourselves. We become the answer. We become the beginning. We become the solution. Talk is cheap. Everybody can talk about wonderful ideals. Emotion is even cheaper. You can get emotional about it. But to become a foot soldier, in the sense that changing the world through example, is a very difficult thing. Not everybody is up to it. But the ones who are already wanting to do something, go beyond personal development, they want to be working on themselves, but they want to go beyond. They also can find an amazing, I think it's amazing focus, which I'm beginning to introduce on my Facebook page. Please sign up and become a part of my Facebook group. And it's the page that's entitled You and the Future of the Planet. Because the change begins from you. Change doesn't begin by pointing finger. And it's not for everyone, but for people who believe that we need to take our time to initiate change against a wall of ignorance, hatred, fear, prejudice. This may be a good place to start. I'm excited I finally got around to make this video. I released the book about a year ago, but I didn't do anything to promote it. And finally, I have decided I need to stand next to my book. It's not about me, it's about the message of the book, and I think it's very much needed. Thank you very much. Read the book and drop me a note so I can email you your free class that goes, free personal experience examination class that goes with the book. Thank you. Bye.